This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
The following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed or products endorsed are not necessarily those of KTLV, its staff, or management.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today is a show that you have been waiting for. Today's show is being made possible by your favorite Allstate insurance agent, Marilyn Hildred. If it's insurance that you need, don't worry anymore. Call 843-0811 or 427-8399. Maryland sells home insurance, automobile insurance, life insurance, boat insurance, name it, and you can get it from Maryland. Today's program also is brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King. If you want to look better than a president, since we are approaching President's Day, go to Gates Barbershop. He will give you a traditional haircut. Yes, he will give you a present one. And if you want to look into the 21st century, he can do that. All at Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Dr. A.L. Dial is your optometrist, and he is great. His office is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street here in Oklahoma City, and you can call him at 235-0536. You can call for an appointment. I do appreciate all of you that have called me concerning Passion Home and Health Care. You have told me the type of care that Passion Home and Health Care gives to you. Now, if you're not able to take care of yourself, you don't have to go into a nursing home. All you have to do is to call 943-5779. Passion Home and Health Care, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street. As part of Black History Celebration, I had the opportunity to go to Exotic Flowers. Exotic Flower Company, formerly located in the Northeast Shopping Center, has moved to 29th and North Lincoln. Now, what I would like for you to do is to go there. I want you to see what progress has been made. I want you to talk to Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. Let them explain to you how they have made it. And when I tell you that it's beautiful, believe me, some of the most beautiful flowers that I have ever seen. Now, that's at Exotic Florist Company. And when you think of Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, how hard they have worked to make their dream come true, you too will join in the dream. If you need flowers for funerals, weddings, or to show somebody that you love them, say it with flowers. Don't forget Exotic. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the people, the pastor, the members, the officers of Union Baptist Church. I had the opportunity on last Sunday to be with them, and it was just such an experience. And I want to thank each one of you, you members, the pastor, and when I tell you that they have a choir that's great, when I tell you about their devotional service and the sermon, please believe me. Thanks again to the people at the Union Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This has been a busy week for me, and yesterday I had the opportunity to be with all of my friends, all of them, and I do have some fine friends. I had the opportunity to be with my friends at the Sequoia Building as they celebrated Black Heritage Week, a month. They had been celebrating it on February the 9th. The Honorable Angela Munson was a guest speaker, and appearing on that program was Reverend Youngblood, Reverend and Robert Mays. And yesterday on the program, Mr. Clarence Wilder was a master of ceremony. Appearing on the program was Reverend Dr. Eric Mays, Mr. William Franklin, a civil rights administrator in the Department of Human Services, the lovely Miss Black, Oklahoma University, Evangelist Bessie Lewis from Tulsa, Reverend Ronnie Jacobs, Karen Jacobs, and that lovely Christina Franklin. The Parker Elementary School did a presentation, Still I Rise, and it was just beautiful. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak yesterday at the Sequoia building. Today is a new day, and today I want you to take note. I need your help because I don't know what to do. I need your help. I need your help because in Oklahoma City we are facing a crisis, and it strikes at the very depths of our heart. And we will be talking to you about that in just a minute. But in the meantime, I want to remind you that Johnson Shardina's daycare is open. 1643 Northeast of 50th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The telephone number is 424-4656. Now, if you want your child to be in an environment of learning, then I would like to recommend to you Johnson Shardina's Daycare Center. Give me a free hand. Give me a free hand. Yes, give me a free hand. If you need a meal, a good hot meal, all you have to do is to call, give me a free hand, and they will give you a free hand. They will do for you what you cannot do for yourself, and I'll be telling you more about that later. Exotic plants and flowers, I told you 29th in Lincoln, I meant 35th in Lincoln. It's at 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard. Now let me go back over that. Exotic florist, 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard. They will accept major credit cards, and you can order your flowers by telephone. That's 528-7659. Or you can call 1-800 if you're out of town, 443-9684. Have you heard about the J&J Gifts and More? They have silk florist arrangements, balloons, assorted gift baskets, Afrocentric wedding invitations, collectibles, dolls, and more. All at 1033 Northeast 36th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And once again, exotic plants where you can get some flowers. And you gentlemen should tell your wives you love them with flowers. All that talk about I love you, and here your wives get up and cook for you, wash for you, and you haven't sent any flowers. Call Exotic Plants and Flowers, 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard, here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Calvin, congratulations on your birthday.
So much.
And last week you did a terrific job for me.
Oh, Mom, I'm glad you said that, but I was so disappointed and I was so hurt that you, in your busy schedule, missed being here at the radio show with me.
Well, I was in Dallas, Texas, Calvin. I can't.
I knew where you were, and I was expecting you to call and tell everybody.
Well, why would
I was waiting on everybody to hear
time.
you call me and say, "Happy birthday, Calvin." But that's all right, because you showed up, and when you showed up with some great people and some great time. And good things was going on in my sister's house, Merlin, thank you so much.
Merlin and your friends that you've had through the years all came over, and they brought all kinds of food.
Some good friends. Jessie, thank you.
Jessie came from Tulsa, didn't she?
She came from Tulsa. Jocelyn, thank you. Brother Sloss, 48 years of knowing each other and still good friends. We're young at heart, bald at head. I think my hair is bald.
Okay, Calvin,
but I like to brag a little bit, Mom.
Okay, well, you can brag.
Okay, let me brag a little more. I want to brag about the cake that I got from the Passion. No, that was definitely from Clara Hollins, Deborah Jackson, and the staff there at Passion Home Health Care. Thank you so much. That was a cake that has, you really don't know how
it was really something. They had an old man on there. Just
I wasn't an old man. I was just
it looked old.
Just beat up old man, you know. But it was a beautiful cake, and all of it is gone except for that little part of it, and I enjoyed it. But then I had a very special cake that I had to hide. And then when Mom,
I think that's very selfish of you.
Yes, it was. And I want you to know that If I have another birthday, I'll be even more selfish because it took me 5 years to talk this young lady into getting that cake for
Well,
me.
the one thing
But
Mrs. Leola Ford does not do is a bake cakes. Her
now she
cakes are
doesn't.
specialists,
Now
really
she
pies.
had made one about 5 6 years ago. I had tasted of it and I told her, I asked her and I begged for it, and I missed it one time. I missed it twice. I missed it 3 times. But this year was the year I got it right. And thank you, Mrs. Ford, so very much. You'll never know how much I appreciate it. Matter of fact, I hid it from Mom. Mom went home, left the Merlin's house early, and went over on 43rd Street, and then had to call back and ask me, Calvin, where's the cake? And I had to tell her where my hiding place was, because you can't keep no secret from Clara Luper, because you just can't. But then it was a great time. But I want to thank all of you that came. I especially want to thank my sister, Shelley, Merlin, niece Alicia, Cameron, Richard Brown.
Okay, you can't call
Jocelyn.
everybody's
I can't
name,
call everybody's
Shelley.
name, but it was a good time. It was a
Shelley
good time, and
called
I
too.
appreciate
Don't
it because
forget that.
that was my last time. I'll be double 25.
Okay,
But then
Calvin.
let's go from here, Mom, because I
Okay.
know we have an exciting show going on.
Speaking of that, last week I told you I was at Union Baptist Church at 2 p.m. There were two van loads of young people that came up to interview me from Broken Arrow, and certainly I'm very appreciative. Not only that,
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Why would they come all the way up here to interview
They
you?
came to interview me, and not
And
only
what did
that,
you have to say? Now let me hear
they
what
wanted
Karen-
to know about the civil
What
rights
could she
movement.
have to say?
And I'm a specialist in black history.
You're a
You
specialist?
see, I was a black baby, I was a black toddler, I was a black teenager, a black woman. Oh yes, and they came, and a grandmother from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, sent me the most delicious pecan pie that I have ever tasted, and I want to thank
I
her.
didn't see
But
that.
Calvin,
I
tomorrow
didn't
at
see
11
that. She is
o'clock,
that.
I will
Okay.
be at the Faith Memorial Baptist Church, and certainly I would like to thank Reverend Evans and deacons and your teacher, Miss Ruby Roth, for giving me the opportunity to speak in the morning at 11 o'clock at the Faith Memorial Baptist Church. Tomorrow evening, though, at 6 p.m., I will be at Langston University, where the Zeta Phi Beta sorority has
That's your
selected
sorority,
me.
isn't it?
Yes, they have selected
How
me.
long
as
have you been a
guest
Zeta,
speaker.
Mom? Man?
Calvin, that's none of your business. But it
Well,
is
it's
your
not-
business to. Are you going with me tomorrow?
Well, I would like to know how
Okay.
long you've been a Zeta, and I might go, because if you've been a Zeta for only 2 or 3 years, then I may not go.
I'm a Zeta born, a Zeta bred, and when I die, I'll be a Zeta gone. But I want to tell you that next week, on February 20th, I will be at the library at Norman, Oklahoma. On February 21st, I will be at the Veterans Hospital, and I will leave Oklahoma on February the 22nd. I already have my ticket headed to Miami, Florida, where I will have the opportunity to speak on behalf
Ooh,
of Black History on February
that sounds
22nd
exciting.
and 23rd.
Could I help? Could I go to Miami, Florida
No,
with you, Mom?
on February the
No.
25th, I will be in Wetumpka, Oklahoma. But Calvin, today is a very important day for all of us because it's a day to look at Oklahoma City. We need to look at some of the things that are really confronting us. We know as a people that we have Miss Black America. We know that OU selected their Miss Black Oklahoma, and that was that beautiful, talented young lady from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Her name was
a young lady
Renata
from
Hill.
Tulsa,
Yes,
Oklahoma,
Miss
won
Black.
Miss Black Oklahoma University.
And from Oklahoma City, a beautiful young lady, Ranella Walker, won Miss University of Central Oklahoma. But Calvin, the housing problem has been very touchy in the history of Oklahoma. Usually when you go into a city, you could see that black people lived across the tracks. They lived in the lowest economic area, and you can understand that because of the low salaries that they received. But they were proud people. I know my father owned a home down in Hoffman, Oklahoma. Now, you might not have thought it was a beautiful home, but we thought it was just beautiful. That was our home. Every year we would plant flowers, and it was just a beautiful thing. And I hated to leave Hoffman, Oklahoma, and after we left, my dad was able to rent that house for $1.50 a month. And I didn't like it too much because Onita and my sister Girl had to get their share, and that only gave me 50 cents a month. But that was our home, and we loved it dearly. Now, I remember so well the situation in Oklahoma City. At one time, only blacks could only live in a certain area. And I remember the Sidney Hawkins case. I remember Irie Hall and his lovely wife and how they were pushed and put in the streets when they moved across 8th Street.
No, that's Northeast 8th Street, right?
Northeast 8th Street.
That was Northeast 8th Street between Lincoln Boulevard and what we call Martin Luther King now, right?
Right.
Or
And
was
I
that
never shall
Broadway?
forget. I never shall
Street.
forget either. When we lived at 1819 Northeast Park Place and they told us that we had to move. And that really hurt me because my home was already paid for. And then they said that we had to move. But after we moved out, I noticed they didn't move everybody else. We had what is known in Oklahoma City as a process of making black people feel inferior. Now, on at 1819
Mom,
Northeast.
let's stop there. Now, what do you mean by making black people?
Yeah,
Are you
because
talking
if
about
you-
urban renewal?
I'm
urban
talking about
removal?
the whole thing. I'm talking about that when we bought our home at 1819 Northeast Park Place, it stated that that home was facing one of the biggest uproars that we have ever faced in the history of this city. Did you know that, Calvin Luper?
Well, I know a lot, Mom. I know a lot.
But
And
did you know that
I
we are
remember
facing a crisis?
At 1819 Northeast Park Street, I didn't have an opportunity to sign that deed, but I love that tree that you all planted there in the front yard. That was, and I still go by there.
And look at the
and
tree.
Look
You
at that
love
tree
that.
because of the fact that I felt like that's my tree. That's some of my friends' tree, and I still go by in the area, and it's part of it. But then, no, I don't know what all is happening in Oklahoma City. I know that there are problems. I know that where we're getting ready to talk about, what things that we're going to talk about, it just seems to me just another part of urban renewal, doing their best.
Oh, Calvin,
to
it's
eliminate.
deeper than that. This
It
thing
can't be no
that's
deeper than
happening
that.
in
They just
Oklahoma City
eliminating all of us
is
from
so
any of
deep.
our homes and from any of the property that our grandfathers, our fathers have worked so hard for. They just want it out of the way. It's the state property. It's not our property.
The information that we have here on the Clara Luper radio show is that Governor Keaton is recommending a big change in Northeast 23rd Street. Since we wanted to know exactly what was happening, we have invited some very distinguished people here as our guests today to explain to us in their own way Calvin,
That's
the
not
issue that we
community.
we'll know within a
Okay,
minute.
have no fear. You're listening to the Clara Luper radio show. We promise you that it will be exciting. We want you to be a part of it. Call that friend, call that neighbor, and you sit back, relax, and enjoy this. Let's kick it, Dean. And happy birthday to you, Dean.
This is the Clara Luper radio show. This portion of our program is brought to you by the J&J Gifts and More, where you can buy silk floral arrangements, balloons, assorted gifts, baskets, wedding invitations, and if you want to have that Afrocentric look, you can go there too. They have collectible dolls and more. Jacqueline Johnson is the owner. 1033 Northeast 36th Street. And that's 1033 Northeast 36 in the Northeast Shopping Center. 424-3104 or 424-5509. What's going on? What is the relationship that exists between the governor of Oklahoma and the Northeast citizens? To tell us about it today, I have invited Mrs. Gussie Simmons, Mrs. Linda Graham, and Mr. Frank Parker to be my very distinguished guests. Now, what I want you to do is to take a stand. And as an old song, take a stand. Let's see where you stand on the issue. Linda, what is the issue?
Well, Miss Luper, the issue is that I think Mr. Keating wants the residents moved out of the area because he wants a $2 million walkway and a bicycle trail.
Just a minute.
Their homes, after we've lived there over 25 years, and put a $2 million walkway and a bicycle trail, and then put a 10-foot wall.
Okay, now you're saying to me that the governor of Oklahoma, who lives in a mansion, and what block are we talking about?
We're talking about 825 Northeast 23rd Street.
And that 800 block, he wants that the people that live in that neighborhood moved out
Yes.
in order to do what?
To put a $2 million walkway, a bicycle trail, and a 10-foot wall.
Mrs. Simmons, is that the way you understand it?
That is correct, Miss Luper.
You understand what? Tell me so I can have it by both of you.
I understand that was proposed by the governor, our great governor of Oklahoma City, to remove us out of our home, the whole block on Northeast 23rd Street, to erect a bikeway, a walkway, and a 10-foot wall.
A bikeway? Does that mean a place to ride bicycles?
That is correct.
You should be happy, Linda. Just think you all would get to ride bicycles.
Well, Miss Luper, I think the mode of transportation in today's society is cars and vehicles.
So you don't want to ride a bicycle?
I do not want to ride a bicycle on Northeast 23rd.
In the 800 block. You don't want to ride a bicycle? Okay, how about you, Mrs. Simmons?
Neither do I, and nor any of our neighbors. We've taken a poll of that, and they too are opposed to it.
They are opposed to the governor's plan. Well, the governor realized that as far as Northeast Oklahoma City, and this is Clara Luper's thinking, I haven't seen but one person riding a bike, and that's Clyde Madden. Maybe the governor wants a bike trail for Clyde. Unless Calvin's going to decide to ride a bike. I don't know about that. And you are sure that the neighbors do not want a bicycle trail. Is it a trail?
That's what I think Mr. Keaton wants, but we will not stand for a bicycle trail and $2 million walkway and a 10-foot wall to be put on that property in the 800 block.
Well, if you had a 10-foot wall, that would remind everybody of the Berlin Wall.
That is correct, Miss Luper.
Now, you're saying, now I want to make sure I understand. You're saying in the 800 block on Northeast 23rd Street, the governor has proposed that that property will be changed completely. Mm-hmm. In place of being a residential area, it will become what now?
It will become a $2 million walkway and a bicycle trail and a 10-foot wall.
All right, now, where will that money come from?
That money will come from DOT. There has been funds that has been put there and allocated for Governor Keating's Capital Gateway project.
Okay, I thought that that was a historical area. Am I correct, Mrs. Simmons?
You are correct, Miss Luper. That is correct.
Calvin, you have it now. The governor wants a bicycle walk.
Well, Mom, the governor generally gets what he wants. Mrs. Simmons, I've known you for a while, but I've also known the governor for just a limited amount of time. But I've seen the governor's mansion there for a while. How long have you been there on Northeast 23rd Street, across from the state of Oklahoma governor's mansion?
My husband and I lived there for 25 years, and we had a business there for 23 years, a photographer's business for 23 years.
You're a great photographer. But then, with the business, with your home being there, you know, what would make you think, or what do you think is going on in the governor's mind, or the Department of Transportation? I think are the people that are really taking the lead on this. Why do you think that they would want to remove your home to make a bicycle parkway?
Well, in my estimation, I feel that this is another way just to push us out of the neighborhood. I feel, in my estimation, that they don't want us living across the street from the governor's mansion. But we are part of a neighborhood. We're not just part of a street. We are part of a complete neighborhood, the Capitol View Neighborhood Association.
Well, the governor's mansion was there when you bought your home, right?
The governor's mansion was there when I bought my home.
The governor's mansion has been there since you've been living in your home.
But, Karen, you must remember that Governor Keating and some others had talked about, according to the information that I have, removing the governor's mansion from the northeast side.
That was before he was elected.
Oh, that was before he was elected. But anyway, they're saying that you've been neighbors to a lot of governors, haven't you?
I've seen governors come and go, and they have talked to us as they jogged around the mansion, and we've had a good relationship. We have had no problem with any governor across the street from the governor's
show and to be a part of it. I was wondering about the Highway Patrol, and then I know there's a new McDonald's at 23rd and Broadway.
This will affect everyone. It will affect everybody.
But
and Tony is there too.
Tony,
okay, but we're going to talk more than
Tony.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that.
That's a great guy.
Frank Park, how do you feel about this?
Well, I'm a very close personal friend of Gussie Simmons, and she's put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears living in her home. And this has been very emotionally distressful to her. I've watched her, I've seen how this has upset her, and I'm very much opposed to it. I feel like that the governor has not taken into consideration these residents' feeling and the effect, the emotional effect that it's having on them. I'm very much opposed.
You're very much opposed. The telephone number is 672-1220. We want you, the people, to tell us exactly how you feel.
The Department of Transportation, those are the people that made this plan now, and evidently this plan has been in play for a long time.
Was it made by the Department of Transportation
That's what I heard.
or the
Is that
governor?
hearsay? I don't know. What have
which
you heard?
one? What have you heard?
This plan was initiated by our governor of Oklahoma after a drive-by shooting at 23rd and Cali that ended that the young man lost control of his vehicle and ended up by the governor's gate. He hit a tree, and shortly after that, this issue was initiated by our great governor of Oklahoma, Frank Keating. He is the main culprit of this incident.
Well, in order to prove to us that it's not a racial thing, then we've had shootings all over Oklahoma City. We had the worst thing we have ever heard of in the history of this nation on April 19th. And maybe we're going to build a wall around that if it's not a racial thing.
Well, I feel it's racially motivated.
Racially motivated. Now, the big question is whether the people in Oklahoma are going to allow the governor of the state of Oklahoma to change a neighborhood that people love, that people have lived in for years. Will the people allow him to change that to a bicycle trail with only one? Now, if you know any other blacks in Oklahoma City that's riding bikes, let me know. But maybe the people from Nichols Hills and somebody else will come and ride around Northeast 23rd Street. Now, we want to know how you, the people, let the people speak. Call me at 672-1220 and tell me how you feel. Now, Linda, what have you all done? You said you didn't like it. What have you done? And if you don't like something, what have you done?
Well, Miss Luper, we did a press conference on Wednesday in front of my residential area at 825 Northeast 23rd. We did that with Channel 5 TV station and Channel 9. We did not hear from Channel 4 as a press conference, but they were invited. They were given a press release. We have proposed a press release. We will have a rally Monday at 2 p.m. in front of the governor's mansion at 2 p.m. and we would like the support of all the Northeast area.
I thought you all had a meeting at the Sequoia building on last Thursday. Tell me about that meeting.
Yes, we did have a meeting. I beg your pardon, Miss Luper. We had a meeting at the Department of Transportation on last Thursday. That meeting
outside, and the governor made a statement that he was going to my question is this. Perhaps if the governor would use some of that money to help the residents in the area to upgrade their homes, maybe possibly this will help the area. Then he doesn't have to build a 10-foot wall around that particular area to keep black people out of sight. And I just wondered if perhaps some of the residents have gone to him with a proposal to ask him to give them some of that money to help them, beautify their homes and, bring the area up to where maybe it'll be a little bit more palatable to his eyes. Maybe he won't see black people as an eyesore as he does now. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'm going to ask Linda to respond to that. Linda, have you all gone to the governor?
Yes, we have. Our Capitol View Neighborhood Association, our president, and I was the spokesperson for our neighborhood association. We sat down with Keating in his office, my neighborhood association, all the residents of the area in 825 and the 800 block on Northeast 23rd. He promised us that he would send a representative to our neighborhood association meeting. There was never any response or any reply, so therefore I feel like that I think that Governor Keating really doesn't care about what happens to our property and if we lose our homes. But I am a resident that is greatly opposed to that because my home is paid for in this area. I do not want to go out and sign another 20-year mortgage. I would love to remain there in that area because we have access to any part of the city that we need to go to. And I think that I am a citizen and a taxpayer of the state of Oklahoma, and I want to remain in the capital area.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, didn't they offer to give you $35,000 for your property?
Well, yeah, they did. They said the most would be 35.
The most?
The most. Some of the residents would not get 35. But 35 the max, as I understand it.
Well, could you go and find a home similar to yours for $35,000?
Well, you can't go anywhere, Miss Luper. You probably can get some kind of barn for 35,000. But I cannot afford to sign another note. I cannot afford to do it when my home is paid for.
And your home is paid for?
That's right, Miss Luper.
All right. I want to hear from you. What do you think? You the people. Let the people speak. Are you in favor or are you not?
The governor's home paid.
The governor's home belong to all of us. That's the mansion. That's the governor's mansion belonging to the people in Oklahoma. And you're saying to us that at 800 block on Northeast 23rd Street will be changed to what? I want you to say it again.
To a $2 million walkway, a bicycle trail, and a 10-foot wall. Just like the Berlin Wall.
Okay, let the people speak. Hello? Hello? Okay, now, if I'm having a time, just remember that we're going to get it. All right, we are ready to go. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
I wanted to say, I don't know if we can impeach Governor Keating, but if we could, I feel that we should, because it was the people who got him elected, and it's obvious that he don't care about the people if he's willing to put them out of their homes to make a bicycle trail and a walkway surrounded by a 10-foot wall that no one is going to use anyway. He's unconcerned about the people who put him in the governor's mansion.
Now, are you in favor are you a bicycle rider?
No, ma'am, I am not.
And do you know any blacks that ride bicycles?
No, ma'am, I do not.
And do you believe that this will beautify Oklahoma City?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, well, we tell you what, they are having a rally on Monday at 2 o'clock, and today Mrs. Simmons and Mrs. Graham will be at Freedom Center at 2609 North Martin Luther King, and they are getting some petitions. And we need over 1,000 people to sign petitions between now and Monday. And we need your support. Okay?
Okay.
Well, thank you so very kindly for calling.
You're welcome.
The telephone number is 672-1220, and we need to know exactly how you feel about it. Now, to impeach the governor, we could not do that at this time because there's a process that you have to go through with that we're not able to do it. And somebody is calling, they want to know how our Black Caucus feel about the situation. Well, I tell you one thing, I saw Opio Toure, our representative, at a meeting, and he said that he was opposed to it. Now, I don't know how the Black Caucus feels about it. I would ask members of the Black Caucus to call us here, 672-1220, and we need to know how they feel. Yes, Calvin.
Wasn't that beautiful, the way the Black Caucus was represented at the meeting? The meeting that they had at the...
All I know is Opio
building.
Toure was here. I want to hear from my senator. Senator Munson, step forward. Tell me exactly how you feel about
I love
this.
the representation
And
that they had.
Representative Cox, we want to know how you feel.
But, Mom, we have a very special call. A young man knows a little bit more
Okay,
about
well, we
what's
need
going
that
on there.
information. Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show, live and in living color here on KTLV.
Hello.
This morning, this beautiful Saturday morning. How are you doing?
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Luper? Mr. Luper. My name is Alan Blakely. I'm president of the Northeast District Association. What I'd like for people to understand is this goes farther than just the houses on 23rd Street. There's been a major plan being implemented called the Capital Medical Center Improvement and Zoning District. And what they're trying to do is all the land from Northeast 8 all the way over to 36, from Lincoln all the way over to I-35 are marked for rehabilitation to deal with the medical flow that's going to come through when they get through building the medical project over on 13.
Wait a minute. Would you repeat that?
Uh,
You're scaring me.
No, it's true. From Northeast 8th Street all the way over to 36th, from Lincoln Boulevard to I-35, there's a plan being implemented to take all the housing in that area because your medical facilities are being built from Northeast 13th all the way to 8th Street. Those people are the ones that they're trying to get in here. Right now, on 122nd and Rockwell, you have a load of middle-income housing that's finna take place over there. They're trying to move us out of here, and the medical people are finna come in here. Let me read you something from this plan.
Please read it.
And anybody can get it. It's from the state of Oklahoma. It's called the Capital Medical Center Improvement and Zoning District. And it states, a review of housing conditions reflect areas needing major rehabilitation near the health center in the area northeast of the Capitol and in the area west of the historic district. And they're talking about the Lincoln Terrace Historical Edition. The resident area east of the historic district is made of numerous properties needing a modest repair. Abandoned commercial and multifamily properties exist north of the Capitol, which that's the houses that they're trying to take now. North of the Capitol and immediately to the east and west of the Capitol along Northeast 23rd Street. Less than standard or vacant scattered residential property exists in a number of areas which impact adjacent property, primarily northeast and northwest of the Capitol. This thing, what they're doing right now, is the first phase of a plan to take everyone's home.
You're saying they are going to take the homes past 23rd Street?
They're going to take the homes past 23rd Street and run all the way to I-35.
Well, that includes Northeast 43rd Street, right?
That includes everybody. They're coming in because, see, the plan also states that they need to make room for medical staff, visitors, and faculty. So they're trying to bring them in here as they move us out of here. That's why they're talking about this, what is it called? Eminent domain. If you won't sell us your property, we'll force you out of there.
Well, you're the president of the association. What do you think we can do about it?
What we can do about it is first what they're doing now, because we're going to have to save those homes along 23rd Street. That's the first phase.
If we don't save 23rd Street, we can't save 24th, 25th, on down to 43rd.
You can save them, but at the same time, why give up anything that you don't have to? The way that I would approach the houses on 23rd Street, that's a historical area. The money that's being used for the bike walkway also can be used to totally renovate all of those houses. And that's the alternative that I would give them, is that we don't want the bikeway, but at the same time, the federal funding can be used to re-renovate all of our houses because they qualify as historical.
All right, now I want to ask you a personal question. If the governor should succeed in getting the bikeway, are you a bicycle rider?
No, but what you're going to have, who the bicycle riders are,
yes,
are the people within that medical area who are going to bring their bikes to work on their cars and bicycle all over the east side and have these nice parks that they want to put up on both sides of the field. Because, see, at first they was just going to do one part, but now the corner 23rd and Kelly on the south side, they're going to put a park in there now, too.
All right, so therefore, if you will be at this meeting on Monday?
Yes.
And you understand they are signing petitions at Freedom Center and other places today and at churches tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, thank you so very kindly for calling. Mr. Parker?
Yes. In the meeting that we attended at the Capitol, one of the representatives, Mr. Gatz, showed on a projector 10 provisions where that federal monies could be used. And I pointed out at that meeting the fifth provision, and that was for historic preservation. And being that those homes are historic homes, why isn't that money being applied to preserving and upgrading those homes, putting in sidewalks, trees, even lamp posts that match the governor's mansion? seems to me we can use some of that federal money to upgrade those homes.
What will happen to the churches in this area? And Mr. Blakely, will you call us back? If they're going to change all of this to a medical park or what have you, what will happen to the churches in this area?
Well, Mom, there's no problem because of the fact that it's not the concern of the state of Oklahoma what happens to the churches.
The black churches.
The black churches is not the concern of the state of Oklahoma what
Not
happens.
the state of Oklahoma. Now,
No,
don't
it's
put
not.
this because
It's a
they are.
state problem.
No, I think we have senators, representatives, we have judges, and we have a lot of people that's
And
on
we
our
have
side.
a governor. Now, the governor is the representative for the entire state of Oklahoma. So there's really no big problem. Whatever the governor wants, the governor's going to get.
Okay, Calvin.
You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
No, you aren't right
I'm
because
basically right.
the
And I hate
governor.
to say that, Mrs. Simmons and Loomis Simmons and Brother Parker and everybody, but the governor wants that side of Northeast 23rd Street. He wants to make sure that there will never, ever in life again be an opportunity for anybody to just ride by and say, there's the governor's mansion. So we lose, not because we're black, but because we're on the wrong side of North Broadway.
Oh, Calvin, I don't agree with you. Do you think that all of the educated blacks and whites and all of the religious leaders are going to let Governor Keating do that?
I don't not
we
only
aren't
think
even
it,
let
I
him
know
get
it.
right to work. No,
Oh,
law, and there's no talking
I know
about
that. You watch
okay,
and see.
okay, we'll see.
But
That's
then
a
I hope
call.
not. I'm
Let the
hoping-
people speak. Let the
Let
people
the
speak.
people speak. Well, we're going to
Hello.
talk about it here on the Clara Luper Radio Show. I want to remind all of you that you're listening to the Clara Luper Radio Show live and in living color. We invite your comments, 672-1220, right here. Call
Okay.
us.
Okay, we have a call. Hello? Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay, let me tell you something. I want you to call in the next few minutes. We want to know where you stand. Because if the white people in Oklahoma City feel that the black people are for this project, we are going to lose. But if they feel that we aren't for it, we are going to win. Now, that's all it is to it, and we need you to come out. And if you are too scared to come out, get you some scary boots and come out anyhow. That's what you need to do. Hello?
How you doing?
Oh,
This is Moses, and thanks for having this radio show today because we need to inform the community. Alton is very informative. I hope you do call back in and give you a little more information. But Miss Clara Luther, like you guys are doing now, talking about this information, and my suggestion is how that we could probably get more of the community involved.
okay, tell me. Hurry up and tell me. I want to know.
Okay, well, what happened is we have a history, and I'm just going to say this: we haven't had a meeting at the state capitol, and I don't know when the victims of the bombing did not like the calendar, or the committee got together and discussed it. They wanted to take the 169 names off the calendar, and then they told the people to meet at the state capitol. Black people haven't met in a forum like that since Martin Luther King, and when you were leading the people down there against the garbage trucks and things. Now, business people like the executive go in office and meet. But when we want the public to come out, we got to tell them where we're going to address and tell them the problem. Now, we're going to do it on a churchyard. If we tell the community, they will show up. But our community is not going to go into a meeting where normally people like you who have a business are, somehow they're intimidated with you being in an office. But if you speak to them in a public forum from an address system, you can get thousands of people out.
Well, I'm not in an office. I've never told anybody I'm a leader or in an office. Okay.
No, Miss Luther.
Okay.
I'm just saying, in August to organize something, somebody got to get together.
Well, you are powerful. You can do it. You be there Monday and tell those people what to
Miss
do.
Luther, I'm laying flat on my back.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
I'm just got out of the hospital. But this project is so important to me that I just want Northeast Quadrant to turn out and I want it to be something like around about 13 to 14,000 people show up, and you guys explain to what they got to do to stop this.
Okay.
And you guys are organizers. But the people will show up if you tell them where to come.
Okay.
And I believe we should do it on the state capitol.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling. You know, I appreciate that because we welcome your comments here on the Clara Luper Radio Show because
Let's
we know
get
that
into
you're
more
listening
calls,
to.
Calvin.
There's some more calls coming, but I
Okay.
want to remind everybody that if you want good insurance, life insurance, home insurance, remember my sister, Merlin Hildred. What's Merlin's address? You know all that information.
84308.
That's a phone number.
That's a
Oh,
730 Britton Road. Calvin, I want to get back
what about
to
a
these
good
telephone
haircut?
calls.
Oh, Mom, have no fear. The governor's gonna win here.
Okay, Calvin.
We'll come back.
Okay.
I'm a realist.
The governor can't
I'm a
win
realist.
against the people. Let the people speak.
The people have spoken when they elected it.
Hello? Okay, if I'm missing you, just stay on. Hello? Okay, well, one thing that we want to know is where you stand. Oklahoma City has a chance. I believe in the rain when it doesn't fall. I believe in the people when I don't hear their voices. I haven't had one call today of anybody that's for this project. Now, I want to know where you stand. We can't scratch our backs and grin and shuffle. We got to come down and make our stands clear. Now, whether or not, now they have told you, Mr. Blakely has made it plain. If they move the people on 23rd and 800 block this time, then we are next. And I know one thing. They had better not fool with the Woods neighborhood. They better not fool with our home. I have a lake there, the Clara Lake, Luper's Lake, and you can't move my lake. Yes, Mrs. Simmons.
One thing I want to know, Miss Luper, is that how can they say that a walkway is more important than your home, human dream that you work all your life for and put all your energies in? How can a walkway be more important than your home?
Maybe they're still thinking like they did during the days of slavery where people were only property. Well, you're going to have to show them, and the people are going to have to unite behind this like they have never united behind anything. Now, I want you to hear from you. And Mrs. Simmons and Mrs. Graham, how can they get in contact with you?
Yes. I'm at 825 Northeast 23rd. My phone number is 424-4191. Come out and stop by the Freedom Center. I will be there all day today, as late as I need to be there. Whatever it takes, I will be there. Also, come by my residential area anytime and stop by before the rally on Monday at 2 p.m. Come by and let me know and express your opinion. And if you will support us in this, please save our homes.
You can reach me at 813 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. And you can come by, and would appreciate your support in signing the petition. I will be at the Freedom Center today, shortly after I leave here, until about 2:30. So we appreciate your support.
Okay, Calvin, let the people speak.
Let the people speak. Well, I think, Mom, now that we've had an opportunity to express our feelings here on the Clara Luper Radio Show, thank you so much for giving us that opportunity. But I still have to go back to my bottom line. And that is the fact that even though I don't like it, even though that I know what happens here in Oklahoma, what has happened, I am really worried, Mrs. Simmons. I think that if we have 1,000 people to come, we're going to need 1,000 more. We need people to come there. And maybe you need to invite the governor over to come and just enjoy 23rd Street. See, the governor may have been so busy that he doesn't know that this street not only is important to him, but it's very important to all of us who enjoy Oklahoma City, the Northeast community.
Mr. Luper, I think you are kind of wrong on that. When we was protesting on the street and in front of the mansion the other day, he came out of the mansion and he laughed. He was laughing. So why didn't he stop then to see what concerned us? It's no concern of his.
Well, let me say it again. I think that we should publicly, right now, may I publicly invite the governor to come over to your home. And you say that's at 2 o'clock what day?
2 o'clock Monday.
2 o'clock Monday, this coming Monday. Not
in front of the mansion.
In front of the mansion. Just ask the governor to come out of his mansion, open the gate.
Nobody's going in the mansion.
And come over there and just be a part of the community itself. This is not Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have accidents here in Oklahoma City, but this is not Tulsa, Oklahoma. But then I want the governor to know that you have invited him to come over to your home and to be a part, and just to meet some of the people.
And have a cup of coffee with me. I'll bake him a special cake.
Oh, no,
Okay,
no cake. No
excuse
cake.
me.
But then,
Excuse me, let me remind everyone that this is the Clara Luper radio show.
well, you're
Let
absolutely
me
right.
remind you that give me a free hand. The telephone number is 946-8928. And if you want a lunch or whatever you want, they will certainly help you. Passion Home Health Care, located in Oklahoma City, and this is a new concept. They on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you may call 943-5779. Now, this dialogue will go on. Mrs. Simmons and Mrs. Graham will be at Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King. You can talk to Theodis Payne. You can talk to Mr. Milton, Mr. Leonard Ben, and others. Now we have a lot of conversation about leaders. I would like to tell you who the leaders are. You are the leaders. That's who the leaders are. So don't you sit on your constitution and wait on somebody else, because your home is going to be affected too. We will be meeting with the people in the Woods Neighborhood Club and other neighborhood organizations, because we are going to unite and support you like you have never been supported before. Next week, we will continue this dialogue. And Calvin, you'll be here by yourself, because I'll be in Miami, Florida next week. I'm leaving on Thursday.
Well, Mama, you can't really say that I'll be here by myself, because I am never alone here on the Clara Luper Radio Show. And I may go to Miami, Florida with you. I need a little suntan, too. And that way I can tell the governor, say, man, I've been to Miami, so you might as well leave 23rd Street. The rich and famous don't always live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The rich and famous don't always live on the northwest side of Oklahoma City. But there are some of us that enjoy our lives here on the northeast quadrant. There are those of us who have been upset with urban renewal. There are those of us who know it as urban removal. So sit back and relax and let it happen again if you want to.
We are going to sit back. We are going to
Well, that's
protest.
what happened before.
And one thing that we've got to do, we've got to register in large numbers and get out and vote.
Well, Mom, we have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes, and so let's let everybody say goodbye. But I want everybody out there to wish me a happy birthday. I want you to know that I love you dearly. Mom, I love that, because that's Governor Keating's birthday, too.
Oh, I see.
I don't mind who stay across the street from me.
Okay, Calvin. As we look at the clock on the wall, we know it's going to be time for us to say goodbye. Next week, I ask you to join us in calling the governor, ask him to change his plans, talk to the people at the Department of Transportation, and remember you have a hotline to Washington, D.C., because these are our tax dollars. Today, we have tried desperately to inform you, and we have put out the alarm. God gave us an alarm on April the 19th, but we have another bomb in Oklahoma City that's really dangerous, and that is the bomb of moving poor people out of their homes. I might be black. My home might not come up to your expectations, but I love my home and will do everything else, including dying for the right to live like I want to live. It was a long time ago, but it seems like yesterday, when black people were considered as property and had no place in government. But this is our day, and this is our hour, and I call on all my white friends, and God knows I got a lot of them. They love Clara Luper, to come out and support us. Keep our homes. Bye-bye, and I do love you.
This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
Good morning and welcome to the Jesus is the Answer Ministry radio broadcast, brought to you by the Christ Community Baptist Church with your host and the pastor, Reverend Vernon Burris. The church is located at 5400 South Byers, inviting you to service. On Sundays, Sunday school begin at 9:30 a.m. and Sunday morning worship at 11 a.m. Midweek service every Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. A very special day here in Oklahoma City, here in Oklahoma, across this nation. We want you to sit back. We want you to relax. We want you to be a part of today's The Clara Luper Radio Show, 1220 a.m. The phone number out here is 672-1220. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of the fact that it's been a beautiful week. I had an opportunity to go out to Cox Cable and I was with the members, some of the members of Fifth Street Baptist Church, some of the members of St. John Baptist Church, and there I was a party to and a participant with the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. The Oklahoma City Alumni Chapter has a special Ebony Awareness Bowl. The bowl, and let me kind of give you a little bit about it. The bowl is where the churches here in Oklahoma City, or here in Oklahoma, they're invited to send representatives, and the questions that they're asked, the dynamics behind it, is the fact that you have to know your black history. Now, the Kappa Alpha Psi Bowl was an exciting affair, and the affair was there at Cox Cable. But then the exciting part behind it was seeing the representatives from Fifth Street Baptist Church and the representatives from St. John's Baptist Church. They were the top two from the elimination process that had happened. Must have been about 2 weeks ago, but then the process had happened, and these two representatives were there. But then we'll tell you a little bit more about that. We'll tell you who the winner was, what they won, some of the questions that were asked, and some of the things that they have had to know in order to be there at the Cox Cable. We invite you to stay tuned, not only to this radio station, but to look at your TV schedule. You'll find out exactly when this program will be aired, and you'll have an opportunity to see it for yourself. Sit back, relax, 672-1220. Dean, are we ready over there again? We got a call coming in. We're going to do that call. No, okay, let's do this one. Sit back, relax. It's Calvin Luper. We're going to make it.
Oh, sometimes in my life, burden get hard to bear, but I don't let it bother me. I just keep on going anyway. Listen, I've been struggling, I've been strained, but I'm on my way home. I've been struggling, I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. Let me tell y'all something. I've had a lot of things to happen to me in life. Sometimes life get hard. It cut just like a knife. I've been struggling, I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. Is that all right? I've been struggling, I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. Yes, I am. I've been struggling, God knows I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. Listen, I've took a lot of beatings. I've even went without eating, but I've never lost a pound because He never let me down. I've been struggling, I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. One more time. I've been struggling, I've been straining, but I'm on my way home. Somebody out there been struggling too. You know, I've been struggling,